Hey y'all, welcome back to another video. I want to say thank you, just to preface this before I start the video. Thank you for all the support for the other video, for the lore video. It exploded and I can't thank y'all enough. And we hit 300 subscribers this morning. So that was pretty epic, so thank you guys so much. So enough of the yap, yeah, let's get started. In the official Tactical Assault VR Discord server, there is a forum called the Feature Request Forum. This is a place where people from the community can request features to be added to the game. Today, we will talk about the most popular requests and go a little bit deeper into some theories later on. So this first part we're going to talk about is the WIP tag, or the work in progress tag. And if you have no clue how the feature request forum works on the Discord server, basically you have a selection of tags that you can search for, and it just helps you narrow down. So if, let's say like one suggestion has a weapon tag and it has an optics tab. You can like directly look for optics, or you look for weapons, or you look for mechanics, stuff like that. And the one we're going to talk about today is the work in progress tag. So the work in progress tag is something that everybody who submits a post on there wants, obviously. All it means is that Jarvis, the game dev, sees the request and is interested in putting it into the game. That's at least what I've taken from it, because most of the stuff, well, pretty much all the stuff that he's put in work in progress has been added or is going to be added, I believe. So I don't want to assume stuff, but I feel like that's pretty safe to assume. So the first post we're going to talk about is the Hoa Type 20, and this is a Japanese rifle developed by the company Hoa, and I hope I'm saying that right. And it was made to replace the Type 89. It was made to replace the Type 89 made by the same company, and yeah, I'll show a picture up on screen right now. I really like the design. It kind of reminds me of like ACR type vibes. We probably won't get an ACR in the game, but one can only hope. So the next one we're going to talk about is increased room furnishing, and we've already kind of seen this in the new revamps of the game, and it's adding more like modularity in the rooms. Yeah, the objects stay the same, but it is definitely more difficult to clear rooms now that there's like a rack in the way or there's a couch in the way. It's really cool. I'm assuming that this post is talking about the other maps that have not been updated yet, like Incoming Storm or Void. Probably talking more about like Sever Snake or Trident Lightning. So I'm trying to save the best for last here, but this one has actually been work in progress for a while, and it's deployable chem lights. And I like this idea, but like I don't really see a use for it in this, because yeah, it's a military simulator, but we're not really like, we know that people won't respawn in the rooms, but we also know that they could walk in, so throwing down a chem light saying, hey, this is clear, and then walking back in, noticing, hey, it's clear, and then having your guard down, kind of, you know, but, just things to work around. I think it would be awesome if they add it, but we'll see. So again, I'm trying to save the best for last, but, this next one is IR strobe lights. People have been wanting this for a while, but finally it actually got the WIP tag, so pretty awesome. If you don't know what strobe lights are, they're little patches or little devices that go on your helmet or your rig that basically flash every so often to signify friendlies when you're using nods, and it's IR, so people in the dark can't just see like a flashlight going off. So yeah, let's get to the next one. So I'm not sure if the guy who made the Hoa Type 20 request did this one, but this one's the JGSDF camo, and I believe it's a Japanese camo. I haven't done a lot of research on this one because it's just a camo, but I thought it looked pretty cool. I'll put an image up on screen. But yeah, we're gonna skip this one. It's just a camo. Let's get going. So this is where we get into the three main important ones, in my opinion, that are like pretty sick, and I really want these to be added as soon as possible because it's just awesome. So the first one we'll talk about is magnified sights, and we already have some The only one that we have that's like a flippable, like G33 magnifier is the 1 to 3 times hollow sight, and yeah, it's cool. But this forum request is basically talking about the ability to put that magnifier on other optics. So if I put like a Comp 4 or a Romeo Riserd on the top, I want to be able to put that magnifier on that so I can have like a 1 to 3 red dot instead of a 1 to 3 hollow sight or something like that. I think that with combination of this, yeah, I understand we have nods, but also I think it would be interesting if we get the little things you can put in front of the scopes for night vision, so you can have like the night vision and sniper scopes. I think that'd be cool. But then again, like the night vision in this is pretty limited. Like you can look right through the scopes, and which would be decently hard with the depth of field. But yeah, let's get to the next one. This one's a good one. So this one's kind of a combination. I know on the feature request form, one of the rules is you can't have multiple suggestions per post, but I think this one's, since it got the work in progress tag, obviously they liked it. But this one is an M4A1 Block 2 and the SU230 sight, also known as the Elcan Spectre. So I really like the Elcan. I could really care less about the rifle. I feel like we already have enough AR platforms in the game. I want more modularity. I want to be able to change the colors of the guns, which we'll get into later. But I think the most important part here is the Elcan. I'm a sucker for dual roll optics, so I'll put that up on screen because a lot of people don't know what that is. Basically, if I have like an ACOG, and I have the ability to put an RMR on the top like it is in the game, I should also be able to put an iron sight on the top of my ACOG, and I feel like it should be there anyways. Yeah, I think that would be awesome. I really hope that if they do add the Elcan, it's variable, so 1 to 4 times, or whatever the hell it is. I think that's what it is. I hope that they give it an accurate reticle. That's also a very important part. And I hope they make a dual roll, because I like in Pavlov, the modded Elcan, being able to shoot like a AK-74 over the top with the irons, it just feels really nice. So I hope that they do that. That'd be sick. So this next one is called Add Player Shoulder Patches. I haven't really read this one, which I probably should have before I made this video, but I'm assuming that it's just going to be custom player patches or customizable, so you can pick one out of a couple or something like that. So we already have those patches on our right shoulder and like left shoulders. Pretty interesting. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but this, as said by the mods, is kind of going to be an early look at modding, because players will be able to access the files and stuff like that. Maybe. I'm not sure. This is still speculation. But I think this is a good segue into modding. As I talk to Fromk, and I'll try to pull up the discussion we had on the Discord. Basically, I asked him what type of files or something like that. I don't remember exactly what I said. But what type of files are the guns, the gun textures? Because I would love to be able to make like a resource pack or something like that, like a texture pack for the guns, so I could have like a fully black AR or something like that. And he said something to do with UV maps or something like that. And again, it'll be up on screen, so you'll be able to see. But yeah, it would be really, really interesting. And like I said in the thing, the only example I can really think about is like VTOL VR liveries, where players can make it and then submit it, and it'll be online for people to see. But then we would need a mod menu, so that's a bit different. So now we're going to talk about theoreticals. So what I want to see in the game, and some other people's popular opinions that I agree with. So for this section, we're just going to talk a little bit about what I want to see in the game. Kind of just going to be focused on my opinions, and you don't have to agree with me at all. This is just, again, my opinions and what I want to see in the game. So let's get started. So the first thing that I want to see in the game, obviously you heard, I just talked about it, is the texture packs of the guns. I like the vanilla color scheme, but I also think that it kind of gets a little bland. I'm not saying I want a completely bright colored glowing cyan rifle, but I would also, I would like to see spray paint, you know, like the spray paint camos that people make for their ARs, stuff like that, like an Arctic camo, or black stripe camo, or a digital camo, something like that, or just normal colors. I'm a sucker for this thing, and I have a special kit in Ghost Recon, which I'm still waiting to be able to use in VR, which is like a khaki netting thing, and I think it looks really sick. So, yeah, something to do with weapon customization. I think it needs to be expanded on in this game. So this next one's kind of going to be a little weird, but all of the guns that were added for the AI, I think we should be able to use, and I know that it's, again, AI only weapons, but like, bro, I want to be able to use that Crink or that G3. Like, please, dude, they're so sick. But with the addition of that, I think that PvP is also a bit lagging, and I know that they've said that it's not the main focus of the game, but like, you do have to consider that a majority or a decent amount of your player base plays the PvP. I enjoy it. That's literally the majority of the time that I spend in this game. I play PvP just because I think it's fun and playing with people, even though most of them are squeakers. Sometimes you can get the occasional good group of people. So, yeah, I think that they should expand on that. And what I mean is, like, kind of think of Insurgency Sandstorm, where you have two teams. You have like a NATO team, and you have an Insurgents team. So you have all those new Insurgents guns that they have, like the Crink, the G3, and the other stuff. Like, we should be able to use those, and then the NATO team has all the things there. That could also, for some fucking reason, add new game modes for PvP, like a push game mode where you're going for a specific objective, or add like a one life game mode, kind of like Siege, but more high stakes, so players don't make the risky decisions they do now, especially now that we have the suppression mechanics to keep people's heads down, stuff like that. But I think like a close quarters, and we have the amount of players for it. 5v5 is still pretty good, but throw them into smaller maps and have them fight one life, and I think that'll be so much better. So we don't have to keep using room randomizers and janky little custom games. The last thing I'm going to talk about before I close this off, because it's kind of getting a little long, is a new like death screen, and I've made with this other guy. I'll put his name up on the screen, but I made with this other guy a custom like black screen on death, so it's like immediate, just boom. And if you've played VTOL VR and you've crashed into a building or you've crashed into the ground, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's really loud, and then as soon as you die, quote unquote, or you hit a building or you hit the ground, it's silence, and it's freaky. So, like, I'll show you the video, I'll put it up on screen. But basically, if you're sitting up on a hill, right, and you get fucking nailed in the head, and you get killed, your vision should go black, and you shouldn't be able to see anything until you respawn. I feel like that's fair, because I think it's a really big issue. If I get shot and I'm downed, and I have no clue where the hell where I got shot from, I have 5 seconds to figure out where the dude is and tell my team, which I think is very unfair for the other team, because if they're in a good position and they shoot me and I have no clue where the hell they are and nobody else saw them shoot, he can stay there, right? Like, I just don't think that dead people should be able to relay information that happened after they died. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you for watching all the way to the end. Like, comment, subscribe, all the different stuff. Hopefully it gets the same amount of support that the lore video did. I was surprised that that actually exploded as much as it did. So, yeah, have a good night. Thanks for watching.